Ever found yourself setting goals like trying to eat more veggies, drink more water, hitting the gym more consistently, or just trying to eat healthier in general, only to keep falling off track? I promise you're not alone. And it's frustrating because you know all the things that would help you get to where you want to be, but there always seems to be some kind of setback. Something like you feel like you've been eating really well and hitting your workouts for a couple weeks now, and your jeans still don't fit any better than they did when you started. That's a bummer. Or you set a goal to bring your lunch to work every day instead of buying out, and then on day 3 of this new goal, you by mistake leave your lunch at home, end up ordering out, and it's like a downward spiral from there. Or even worse, you bring your lunch to work, but you choose not to eat it and order out anyway. So what gives? You know how badly you want to reach your goals, right? You have a plan. You follow it to a T for a few days or even a couple weeks, and then something happens. Fear of failure and self-sabotage start to rear their ugly heads, and they throw us right off track. And it's the most frustrating thing, especially when it's a repeated pattern time and time again. The thing is, we so often look for that instant gratification when it comes to achieving our goals. But we can't really expect to be somebody who sticks to a certain diet protocol perfectly after not following any kind of protocol for the last few years or months, or becoming that person who drinks 4 liters of water every day after not drinking any water at all before, or being super fit and lean after 1 week in the gym. But because goals take work to get to doesn't mean that they're not worth going for. Simply setting goals and putting ourselves in that growth mindset is motivating in and of itself. It tells our brain, I want more. I'm not willing to settle for where I am. I'm ready to take this to the next level. And when we give up too soon, we in turn tell ourselves that we're not capable. And when it comes to fearing failure, I totally get it. But failure can be a foundation for success, which is why I always like to try to look at my failures as lessons. And trust me, I have had tons of failures. Business failures, relationship failures, diet failures, exercise failures. I even failed math in 7th grade. I actually failed chemistry twice in college too. But because now I don't look at failing as an excuse to quit, I've learned what works and what doesn't through my failures. I've learned what kind of programs people love to join in my business. I've learned what kind of partner I want to be in my next relationship. I've learned to never, ever diet again or put too much pressure on myself when it comes to how I exercise. And the math and chemistry, I'm just leaving that for somebody else because that is not for me. That's why God created accountants and chemists. But seriously though, you might even find, and I certainly have, that your best self comes out of these so-called failures. And I get it, it's scary to try new things, to set new goals, to put ourselves out there, especially when things keep not working out the way that we want them to. It's frustrating. And it's even more scary when we're trying to do these things alone. Studies have shown that when you're held accountable to your goals, you're a lot more likely to achieve them. And beyond that, isn't doing things with other people more fun than just doing it alone? Going for our goals in a setting with like-minded people can even help reduce stress and anxiety and that feeling of loneliness and am I the only one who feels this way, and increase coping skills, because as humans, we're naturally hardwired to want to connect with other people who are similar to us. So for me, there is something that's so uplifting and energizing about being around people who get me. Right now, I have 3 accountability partners, plus my business coach, plus 2 communities of women who support me, help me feel more secure in going for my big goals, and who know what I'm up to all the time. Knowing that Athena and Candace and Erica and Mary Alice and my other girls are going to be checking in on me makes me less likely to self-sabotage or make up excuses for why I shouldn't do something. Needing accountability and support does not mean that we're not self-starters or that we're unmotivated or that we're incapable because we can't seem to hold ourselves accountable. It just means that you're human. All of this stuff is totally natural. Like I said, we're hardwired for connection. In fact, I'd even say that being a part of a group, and I've experienced this myself, that holds you accountable and cheers you on, just shows how committed you are to your goals, because accomplishing things alone is really, really hard. So you put yourself in a setting with like-minded people and you're gonna watch those goals skyrocket. So if you're somebody who knows what you need to do, but you're having a really hard time actually doing it, it sounds like you could really benefit from an uplifting, energetic community full of support for you. And next week, I have the perfect opportunity coming up for you to join a group of women who are uplifting and energetic and zeroed in on their goals, and they're ready and waiting to support you every step of the way towards your big goal. So keep your eyes peeled for that coming up next week. But what I want to know right now are 3 things. Number 1, what is your current health goal? Pop that in the comments. Number 2, do you have an accountability partner or a group of people supporting you? And number 3, how is your goal going for you? What's going really well? What are your challenges? Let's share what we're up to in the comments and start building a little support system right there.